Welcome to LinkedUp, Breaking Boundaries in Education, a podcast that focuses on what is happening in education today, connecting everyone to the movers and shakers that are breaking boundaries in the education arena.
Welcome to LinkedUp, Breaking Boundaries in Education. So Jerry, we've got the holiday time, and the holiday time means right around the corner is New Year. And what that means is a new beginning, new start, fresh ideas, innovation. And I equate that with FETC. So we're going to hear all about what is coming up around the corner at FETC in Orlando. And we have the queen herself to fill it in.
Yes. So I always say whenever I'm around Jenn Womble, I say, let's get ready to womble.
Wonderful.
Ready to
it.
go. You know what, Jamie? I hadn't gone to FETC until 3 years ago.
Oh.
And when I walked into the conference, immediately something struck me. It's like when you walk into a school or a classroom, you know the atmosphere, you know something's different.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone is so friendly.
Yep.
This is so nice. I love this. And I walked away thinking, I never want to miss this one again. It is my favorite. It's love it.
Perfect.
And it's because of our guest today, Jennifer Womble. So welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. That is the nicest introduction ever because I love FETC so much. So I'm just thrilled that we're able to build a community where other people can walk in and feel the same way. So we are definitely trying to build something unique because we want it not just to be professional learning, but we want it to be connections. And I feel like that's the same thing you guys are doing with LinkedUp here. We're making connections. So it's a beautiful segue to what we want to talk about today.
That's exactly right. And your conference is more creative. You go to so many and they're like a boxed conference. It's the same old, and they're kind of sanitary and just boring, actually. It's not. I love this. Oh, Jamie. Yes, girl. China, get ready for Womble.
Carry a party in your purse.
Yes, Jenn hands these out to people. And tell them the story.
Absolutely. So one of the most fun things, and I love what you're talking about, creativity as well, is that we try every year to we do take a lot of the feedback that comes in. I'm a huge data geek, right? And I take all the data and I really listen to what attendees are trying to learn, what will make their classrooms and schools and districts better, and how can we make that fun and engaging, right? That which is learned through pleasure is never forgotten. So we really think about the whole person when we're planning FETC. So yes, you get to walk into this beautiful building in January that's all glass and white and gorgeous, and it makes you feel warm inside because we're in sunny Orlando in January. So that first step, that very first time you walk in, I want you to be welcomed. I want you to feel a part of it. But then I want you to be able to make some choices. And we've been doing a really good job in education about talking about student voice and choice the last few years, but I don't think we've been talking enough about the adults and their voice and choice. And so at FETC, I really want to focus on what the needs are of teachers right now, of IT directors right now, of superintendents right now. Like, what do they need right now to be fulfilled and to do their daily work the best they can? So we want to provide professional learning that helps them be empowered to go back and build great schools, but in a way that's fun and creative. So we're designing a lot of fun things this year for people to engage with in different ways. So just like students don't all like to sit and get in rows, neither do conference attendees. So we plan things that give people choices. Do you want to learn in a small group, in a learning table, or with a poster? Do you want to learn in a big group, in a mega session? Do you want to be walking around learning at an expo hall tour? Or do you want to be sitting down having a one-on-one conversation? So we're trying to provide a lot of different ways to learn. Some of them are really creative this year and using the technology that we want people to be inspired.
Love it. Give examples of that.
I have to tell you, last year at FETC, a lady came up to me and she said, what I love about FETC is I come to conferences and I'm always focused on the kids and my job. But at FETC, I find some things that personally help me. And she said, I love that. Anything from like Leslie Fisher that shows you some cool gadgets that you can use. There's a lot of people that you can walk away feeling like I got something for myself too. And I think I hadn't thought of that, but I think that's very important.
I was looking at one of Rob's posts this morning. If you don't know Rob, he's the CIO of Wichita, Kansas. I know he's one of your faves. And he's one of our featured speakers this year. And he posted this morning about how he's using AI as a strategy in his own personal work. And so what he's using it to do, how he's using it to gather evidence, how he's using it to gather stories and to skim through his email. And that level of productivity is what we really need to be sharing on site at different events is what are you using, not just how's the technology in the classroom, but how are we using that strategically to be more productive as individuals, to have more time for wellness, to have more time to be better for our students. And so that's really the angle that we're looking at FETC is not just how to use the tools, because as we know, we have this huge show floor with 450 different companies, right? But not just what are the tools and what's out there, but how are we embracing them and integrating them into our lives and into our classrooms to actually make improvement. So we don't want to oversell that every technology is the best and going to solve problems. It's actually the human use of that tool. So we need to spend more time and investment on the humans who are using the tools and how to be strategic about it and how to really leverage it the most. So hopefully that's coming through in the program that we're offering. And hopefully that when people are leaving, we want you to be able to leave FETC and immediately be able to do something with what you've learned. What is the immediate impact you can have? What is the immediate integration that can happen right away that's going to improve teaching and learning? So that shift in focus from showing and telling to integrating is really a different approach to a conference as well.
Yeah. And speaking of different approaches, we had Kim Abel on our podcast a few weeks ago, and I understand that she will be at FETC.
Favorite new things. So for many years, we've been talking about virtual reality, augmented reality, and I think there gets confusion with the nomenclature, AR, VR, XR, immersive. Like, what is all of this? We see these kind of futuristic videos where people are like looking into goggles in the future, and we haven't really done a deep dive into this technology, and not until recently were schools and districts able to buy class sets, right? We remember where it was like a cardboard box with your cell phone and that's what we were doing. So it's come a long way, baby, as they say. So Kim is the principal of an all VR school. So her teachers, I've actually been working with them to design a really special event. We are hosting the first ever VR classroom. So all attendees at FETC will be able to come into this room. It's a really beautiful room. It has a glass wall in the front. So if you are not in the room, you can watch from outside as well. And every single session is being taught in virtual reality. So every attendee in that room will have on a headset. They're going to get to go in and see, what does it look like to learn math in the metaverse? What does it look like to learn social studies and science? What does it look like to do professional development? And what people don't realize is you don't go in there and have an experience by yourself. You're in a group. You're with the other people in the room. And so students are learning in groups. There's a lot of socialness to it. So we want people, I think the only way you ever try something in your classroom and district is if you've had that experience. So I wanted to build an experience where every attendee can experience what is it like to learn this way. And the research is amazing. People learn 6 times faster in virtual reality. We're using it for all kinds of CTE and job skill training when you don't have the, the skills there. So there's a lot of uses for it. So one room on the second floor is all VR from Sunday through Wednesday, every single session, all 19 sessions in a headset. So I can't wait for people to come and try and see what it's like. I think it's going to blow you away. I personally believe immersive technology is the future. When you can stand inside a place you've never been before and have that experience. And talk about it's screen time issues, no screen time issues. You are immersed in this, but you're in another environment. So it's really exciting. And there's a lot of tools being built. Google has released a whole suite of tools where teachers can build now in this new place. And we're really proud. Meta has come in as one of our big sponsors, and they are going to be sponsoring this experience and being a part of it. Everybody will be in a Meta Quest headset. So this is really exciting. And I actually think this really is the future of education.
It is the future of education. And I cannot believe that you have this experience right on site all week at FETC. I mean, that is super exciting. And just like you said, yes, it's absolutely for learning and in the school, the VR school, the virtual reality school that they have. But also for CTE, you said it exactly. I mean, that is such a big deal because we can't always have these, big airplanes for the, mechanics to learn. They can do it right in the immersive experience. So I can't wait to be in there. We told Kim that we would join that, Jerry. So don't forget, we need to add it to our schedule.
Come in, put it on your schedule.
Put it on the schedule.
Can I tell you about what's next door to that?
No, what is next door?
Yes. Okay. So right next door to that room, I have these 3 really beautiful rooms. And because this year we're on the west side, we're utilizing some different space than we've gotten to use. And so this room next to it is actually being designed by Mary Alice Coran and Joey DePalma. And they are building what some people refer to as a digital wellness room, but we're calling it a brain gym. So as we have been working with students all across this country and teachers, right, with mental health issues, they have designed a space in partnership with Smith Systems. They are bringing in all kinds of furniture and all kinds of strategies on how you can control your mind and body and what exercises you do for your mind to overcome mental illness. So we've been working with the Same Here Foundation, and they are going to be doing a big mega session and explaining how we can help build resilience in our students and teachers by teaching the actual strategies that are needed. For many years in special education, we've had strategies and gifted education strategies. We've been teaching strategies for how to learn things, but we haven't been teaching the strategies of how to control our mind and body. And this is what students and teachers really need right now. So we want to invite people into this special space to see what it looks like. Flagler County Schools has partnered with us. They have done an entire series of rooms, these sensory rooms. And so they're bringing to our event this sensory experience. And then, so hopefully I want people to come in, try it. We're putting some sessions in there, but have an experience and see what could we be bringing back to our schools and districts to help teach strategies on controlling mental health and behavior, and also creating experiences that students need for their senses, not just for learning, but their emotional senses as well.
Yes.
So I'm super excited about that too.
What?
First time ever.
I know. Oh my gosh. I know. We have to schedule all of these different experiences. So you've got the VR, you have the mindfulness, the mental health awareness, I think.
Brain gym.
Thank you. What are some of the other experiences that you're excited about that's new?
I want to find companies in a group. I want to find everything cybersecurity. I don't want to have to zigzag all the way around 180,000 square feet. So we put all cybersecurity together and with an IT theater there to reach out. We have all the esports pavilion together and they have a hands-on area where you can actually try. They're going to have some contests and tournaments for Mario Kart and some other games that they're having there so that people can experience how that esports is impacting schools and districts, especially with attendance. This is a major breakthrough. We're seeing those kids 90% and better with attendance when they play and are involved in esports programs. A big CTE tie-in that you just mentioned too, Jamie. Then we have an immersive pavilion. So what are the companies developing curriculum in this immersive area? Amy Donnelly is going to be hosting an immersive lab with different stations that you can come and experience there. We have on Monday, we're having a maker lab. So Kevin Renneman from Ohio has scheduled all kinds of maker activities in there. And then on the next day, it's all robotics. So you can come by if you're not sure, do we need a maker space? What are these 3D printers? What do they do? You can just come by and explore and play for a little and create some things. Then the next day on Tuesday, come by and see what the robotics are. What is robotics? What does it look like? Have a little bit of exposure to playing with them. And then you can go and experience, the booths in different areas. So it's really nice when we have, the top 2 floors are engaging sessions and workshops and deep dives. But when you get on the expo floor, it's time to play. And we know the best learning comes from play. So we're trying to engage people in these experiences where they're having some more playtime and trying to think about how that could be integrated in the classroom and really make more engaging learning experiences.
I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
This is fabulous. What are some of the things that you heard from people, like sessions that they want? I love all of the other things you've talked about so far.
So, this is my year-round journey. I am constantly throughout the year, like all of you, reading journals every morning and articles and trying to catch up. Right now has been such a whirlwind of information that it feels very overwhelming. There's a new AI tool almost every other day. There's a new version of the software. Look at our teachers came back this fall, opened their school computers for the first time. Canva has AI, Adobe has AI, Canvas has AI, ClassLink has AI. And so they are overwhelmed with updates and new things all the time, right? So really getting to the core of what can we do to help teachers and administrators be more effective today. So a lot of the sessions and training we have are just about mastering that software, being more efficient with it, seeing what's coming next, and hearing that from the voices of practitioners. Yeah. So we work really hard to have practitioners sharing, here's what we're doing in our classroom. Because ultimately, my personal goal is that when people leave FETC, we are taking these very best ideas and we're scaling them. We want, what was the very best idea that somebody did in New Jersey with their elementary class? Okay, now let's scale that everywhere. What's the very best idea that the CTE Center in New York, that Peter's doing with his group? What can we scale all over? So really that's the goal. So we are highlighting best practices and strategies in sessions, but they're all about implementation. And there's definitely a very deep dive in our content this year about helping leaders really navigate uncharted waters. Because just like when we were during COVID and all these things were happening for the first time, we didn't know how to handle it. That's happening again with AI. Things are happening so fast, we don't know how to handle it. So how do we help our leaders in our schools and in our districts really prepare for this constant change? We see it with attendance is changing, teachers are changing, the role of a teacher is changing. This is a lot to deal with. So we've already seen with our workshops, the ones that have filled up the fastest, because pre-registration is open. So we actually already have some workshops that are already filled. And when we look at that data, what we're seeing is that change management, how do we prepare for new times? Anything with AI right now, people are so eager to learn. They really want to see how to use it effectively, how to use it ethically, how to engage students. So I'm really excited that we have some special things this year. On our pre-conference day, for the first time ever, Holly Clark, Matt Miller, and Ken Shelton have designed a 6-hour AI training.
Wow.
So they are doing an all-day training where you are going to leave there with basically AI Fluency 101. You are ready to go. So they have designed something special for our event. So we're doing the same thing. That's on Sunday, the 11th. On the 14th, Matt Winters, who I know you guys love too, from Utah, he has designed a 3-hour leadership AI summit. So really doing a deep dive for district and school leaders. So we are trying to help people not just know what the tools are and have this little toolkit. How are they really, as individuals, integrating that, into their mindset? So how is this new AI mindset going to be a piece of all of your work? And then how do you actually do? So there's definitely a lot of AI in there, a lot of immersive, a lot of CTE. That's the biggest growing trend in school districts across the country. And there's a lot of funding there, which is really helpful for these technologies. And just like your example, Jamie, here in Florida, air conditioning repair is the number1 sought out career, but you can't take people on top of buildings to figure out how to do AC repair. You need that VR training. So you're going to see a lot of combination of how the technology is really enabling the teaching that we need to happen.
Yeah.
Jen,
that's
I'm
amazing.
thinking people are going to need a week off afterward.
Yes.
Just to
digest
thing they've learned. My gosh.
Now listen, but I love that you said that, Jerry, because we do believe in looking at the whole human at the event. So on Monday and Tuesday are the 2 days our expo hall is open. We design a gap in the middle of the day for an hour and a half where there is no content upstairs. And we give everybody lunch vouchers. So we want you to go have lunch with a colleague, go meet with somebody, have a one-on time, use these vouchers on site to get whatever food you want. I don't care if you spend it all on pizza or coffee or if you have a nutritional salad, but we want you to have that time to digest and to reflect and to have white space where you can actually take what you are learning and reflect on it so that you can more purposefully and be intentional about its use. But that time during the day, we really enjoy seeing attendees. We started that last year. Such a relief to know you have that voucher so you don't have to figure out lunch, right? But also to create time for meeting and that connection. And I think if you leave with 10 connections from FETC, that's as powerful as 10 great ideas. So I hope that reflection time is helpful during the day. And then, of course, the evenings are full of reflection with team members too. So hopefully people are taking advantage of that too.
Yeah. That is so important. So you're covering the immersive experiences, a variety of different ways to learn and engage. You're making sure that the content is scalable, practical, not this pie in the sky sort of thing, but something that people can actually learn about, be inspired by, and put into practice. Now, what about the immersive technologies? You touched on it a little bit, but the expo hall is filled with so many great opportunities for learning too. And one that I love is the Pitch Fest. Is that coming back? Tell us about that.
Oh, so it's important things to think about, and you just have experiences too, is there's so much happening in the development of EdTech tools. And then there's so much change that's happening in school districts. So we have worked really hard to build a bridge between the tech companies and a lot of the leaders in school districts. Okay. And so we host F3 before the event because we want these conversations between companies and the users to be happening at a greater pace, especially when there's pilots involved where schools can get involved in, trying out these tools and giving feedback. So one of the things we try really hard to do is to have an expo hall, which is really hard, 450 companies there, right? So help people have conversations about how these tools are really transforming learning and how they're really working. So in order to do that, we do things like through our app, they can set up one-on-one meetings. You can actually go right to the source. If I am a teacher using this tool and I've got a suggestion for what would make it work better, you can set up a one-on-one meeting with the people from the company and say, hey, here's what I need. Or we need to understand these updates. One time I was on the expo floor and I saw a bunch of people sitting in a theater. And I asked one of the people, I said, hey, what are you doing? I know you already use this product. And she goes, I am here for the update. Because in my district, we don't have any staff that's telling us what's new because the tech people are doing the tech and the integrators and the coaches are in the classroom, but nobody's telling us what's new and coming down the pipeline that we could really be using. So making sure that people have updates to all these tools is really important too. And that they understand this is a two-way conversation. You're not just a user, you are also giving feedback. You're also the people who are impacting students. Right? So they need to have this two-way relationship. So our expo floor, we have designed it to where, yes, there's booths and there's information. And we work really hard to get people confident in talking to the people at the booths. We offer expo hall tours. So Jerry, and I'm so excited, is going to do one for us this year. So we offer a meeting time where you can meet with a person. We ask our featured speakers to do this. Go pick 10 of your favorite booths and then go on a tour and explore. How do we talk to the people at the company? What questions do you ask? What's the expectation? And then they get to see 10 different booths in an hour. I let them pick their favorite. There's no barriers here. Go pick your 10 favorite booths and then take people on a tour. And they have a flag, just like they're on a tour in Europe, a flag and a little microphone headset. And we're really role modeling to people how to create conversations with the business of EdTech, make both sides stronger. And so we're really trying to make that happen through our this year. You can set up one-on-one meetings, which that's a new feature that we've had this year. And we're setting aside different spaces for people to have those meetings and conversations. And also just to break down the barrier, we're all on the same mission to improve teaching and learning. So let's talk about what we can do to make every product better.
I love that. I love that. Jerry, you will be great at a tour. I can see you with a microphone, that wearing a flag. That'll be terrific. That'll be terrific.
I'm excited to see what her and Hannah. it's always a surprise to me too, because the people who lead the tours, it's an inside secret where they're going to go. So we don't know where they're going to go. But it's really great. Just like we need to role model in the classroom how to learn different things, literacy, numeracy, we need to role model to adults how to participate in a conference. How do you make connections? How do you go to a booth? These are skills that people don't know innately. So we're really trying to model those and make it fun too.
That's so
absolutely.
good.
Ours will be some kind of creativity crawl.
Ooh, I love that so much.
Yeah.
I was just thinking today, when I was teaching, I sponsor the cheerleaders, and people would say, why do you go out there and paint signs with them? And I think we all need to take a break during the day and do something creative at some point in the day to really invigorate both sides of our brains. So think about that when you're in a conference too. What are you doing in a conference if you're just sit and get or lecture? What can you do to incite the other side of your brain too, right? And be creative. So we're constantly thinking about that at FETC, and we're always, of course, open to ideas. We're trying new things every year. So you can tell there's really no limit. It's infinite.
No limit. That's so great. And that's the biggest thing that I think is the biggest differentiator between other conferences and FETC. It's huge, it's big, but it feels small because of the connections that are built in. And so no one has to fear that there's this, it kind of going there alone. No, you're never alone. And you're very, very intentional about building those connections and building that in. So wonderful.
And we love this new schedule. So one of the reasons our schedule this year is we were listening to districts, and they told us one of the biggest problems for them sending people to conferences, they have to pay for substitutes. So during the school year, we know if you're not there, we're paying for an adult to be in the room, right? So we started this year on a Sunday, and we're doing sub-free Sunday so that people can come and learn without that added cost back to the district, right? And so on that day, we were really intentional in the afternoon. There's workshops, there's summits, there's mobile mega share, computer science fire hose. There's a lot of great stuff to learn no matter what registration level you are. But in the afternoon, we're going to all break up and go to an orientation for each track. So FETC is designed to have 8 different tracks. So there's one for district leaders, there's one for school leaders, classroom leaders, library leaders, esports leaders, IT leaders. So whatever track that you are, we're going to have an orientation. It's going to be led by the featured speakers of each of that track. And it's designed to help you get the most out of the conference, see what content you go to, and make connections in that room. Yeah. So that now people that are in your track, they're in your village, you've got your tribe. So now you have people you can go to lunch with throughout the day. You have people you can meet to go to sessions with or go to after hours parties together. So we really, from the very first day, we want you to meet the community and connect with them that will carry with you all throughout the year. And then right after that, for the first time, I'm really excited. This year, I spent a lot of time building a state alliance network. So we now have 17 different state EdTech events that are aligned with us. They're going to all have a meetup. So after orientation is over, everybody's going to go to a meetup. So you can go to the NICEgate meetup and meet everybody from New York. You can go to the TITA meetup, meet everybody from Tennessee. Go to the MassQ and meet everybody from Massachusetts. So we're trying to really engage people with their states. CAST is going to have one for assistive technology. Our EduGuardians are going to have one. So we're really trying to help people find their tribe so that they can know those people throughout the year. Because throughout the year is when really what the work is happening. FETC, come get ideas, come get strategies, but now we got to put it to work. So when you leave FETC, what connections do you have? We offer a webinar every month, but you need a little bit more. You need to have those human connections throughout the year when you're trying something new in your classroom that you can ping that off of somebody. Right. Say, how'd this work for you? What works? What's the best way to do this? Who has an idea for this? And so that community, the richer part of is the building of the community that lasts with you year round. So FETC is just like Christmas. It's like the big party we come and see each other. That's why we cannot wait to be there. But it's that year-round community. It's really the most powerful. So I don't think there's ever been a more important time for us to be getting more humanly connected. As all the federal government is changing education, the companies are changing education, all these different changes, you need each other to say, how are we actually doing this and making the work happen? So we're hoping to help build those connections on site.
That's fabulous. I love doing that from day one, right from the start.
First
That
day.
Sunday
Yes.
is really, really important. And so that way they feel plugged in, connected with others, and they have a plan going forward as well. And then
So we have another little trick this year. So we
Okay.
want to help people. Well, listen, I'm always about making new friends, right? Is there anything more fun than making new friends as an adult? So this year, you guys know this last year. You knew my secret last year is we did we traded bracelets. We did
Right.
bracelets last year, right?
Right.
So this year we're instituting a new thing that will happen as soon as you get your registration badge, and you can pick it up on Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning. But you're going to get lapel pins. So we are instituting pin
Love
trading
that.
this year.
Wow.
So you can trade your pins with someone else. So it's a good conversation starter. Like, oh, I love that pin. And so then you can trade pins with other people. I know if you've ever been to Disney World or the Olympics, there's all the people from the
Yeah.
countries are trading. So one great thing to do is you can bring your own, but companies are all bringing pins too to trade. And then we're going to be at FETC. We're handing out pins each day. So you can get the pins of the day, but you can trade those with other people too. So we're also trying to help people find ways to connect with each other. And an easy way to do that is through pin trading. It's a great conversation starter. And then also, my number one trick is no matter what session you go into, introduce yourself to the people on the right and left. Because a lot of times my favorite saying is it happens in the hallways. Sometimes your very best idea is happening in the hallway is when you have that conversation continuing after the session is over, which we know Rick DeFore would be proud of us, right? Professional learning communities happen best over time. So definitely making those connections. We're trying to be really intentional with the pin trading this year and starting the event off with a way where people can make human connections from the beginning. Because our theme this year is game changers,
Right.
because we are all, we're loving it. We're doing a lot of fun graphics this year with that old 1980s Atari look to it. Because everybody right now is a game changer. The game of education is completely changing. And so if you're coming on the cutting edge to FETC, you're a game changer.
Oh, that's so great. And then actually that's what we're calling this episode, Game Changer. So
I love that. That's perfect.
Yep.
You guys are game changers.
When do you sleep? You have thought everything. Everything.
We're trying. And listen, we're always open to ideas too, which I think is the best part, is that we want FETC to be a reflection of our education community. And so we're really trying to, now listen, there are some restrictions that we cannot do anything about. Because convention centers that we need to hold enough people only have certain walls. They only have certain chairs. They only have certain tables. So we are trying to be creative with what we're doing, but there are always limits too, right? So just like in a school, they're stuck with the same walls and the same furniture sometimes. So what we're trying to do is to think outside the box. And that's what I think a lot of educators are doing right now. And definitely district leaders are having to think outside the box. So we're trying to do the same thing at FETC. So how can we make the most of it, make it as interactive as possible, as tech infused as possible, but keeping humans at the center.
Always.
Yes.
Always.
Oh, fantastic.
So
I have a to-do list now of things I have to do.
It's going to be a party. It's going to be a party.
It is. It's definitely a party. I think that's the important part too, is that adults really need to have fun. They need to get to feel excited. Like I told somebody just recently, I think this is the first time I would probably go back in the classroom, because there's a lot of exciting tools that are happening. Some of these AI tools, the first time I saw a curry pot, I was like, oh my God, I would go back to teaching because this is amazing. This has never been a better time to be a teacher. And we need to show that it's fun to try these things. It's fun to engage with this. And that would role model to children. I think we need to really think about creating curiosity, creating how are our teachers curious about these tools? How are our administrators curious about these tools? And then that will flow over to our students as well. And getting back to being curious and the love of learning that is just so richly in us and innate as humans, let's just bring that out. Let's let everybody flourish in what you were born to do, and you're born to learn, and born to be together. So hopefully that's what people will come to FETC and do.
Yes, absolutely.
The thing I love about it is educators feel celebrated when they're at FETC. They feel like care about them and they're celebrated.
We do. You're exactly right. One of the things that's kind of funny to me is that every year our opening night reception that's in the expo hall is open bar. And so anybody can have any drink they want. And we literally last year put out 63 bars everywhere, right? And I'm like, have whatever you want. You're an adult. Have a drink if you want to have a drink, and enjoy yourselves. And we never reach the minimum because people are so not used to being taken care of.
Right.
Like, we want to give you lunch.
No.
We want to give you a drink. We want to give you prizes. We want you to be celebrated because you're the real change makers. You're the real reason why we have education. And so we try to do all these things to make the experience for teachers know you are the most important factor in our school. You touch children every single day in a way that, we can't do without our education system. So I hope people feel celebrated. You'll get coffee mugs, you'll get t-shirts, we really try as much as we can to spoil our attendees and make them know, that this is really what's exciting, and you need support to do that. To try to do something different that you haven't been taught before, to try to do things with kids before takes courage. So we need, as a community, to support our educators and let them know we care about you. We want you to be successful. We're here to provide whatever we can. So all those things are fun. I have one more secret to tell, though. Can I tell one more secret?
Yes, please.
Okay. So one of my favorite things to do is to go to other conferences all year and support my colleagues who put on events and really elevate this community. There are 3 million teachers in America who all need support all over this country. So I have been following for a long time my friend Joe McGreen, and he is this amazing CTE director in Boulder, Colorado. You should follow him on LinkedIn if you don't already. The things he has done is designing CTE in the modern age for occupations that we can't even dream of. And it's amazing. But he has a drone team in his school, and they computer program over 400 drones to create light shows. And they have now been hired by companies all over the country to do this. And these are not little companies. This is like Citibank, and they put on, instead of fireworks, they put on drone shows. They are designing, and they're going to put on for the first time ever a student-led drone show at FETC after our opening reception in the sky of Orlando. So we've gotten FAA approval, done all the paperwork. They are bringing 400 drones. The students have programmed this night sky event. So when you come out of the opening reception out into the sky on International Drive, there will be a student-produced drone show. So no one in the country has ever done this before. I'm super excited. We're the first one ever. And the students are all coming from Boulder. They have been working with their teacher to program and design the show. And it's really exciting. Like, this is something that, like, we dream our students in education can use this level of technology to be creative, to inspire, to be entertaining, and they're going to be doing that. And so I'm really excited. We've invited all the CT directors from around the country to come and see this. It's definitely a landmark event, but also we want our attendees to enjoy it and be a part of the fun. So you could go to Disney World for fireworks, but you can come to FETC to see a night sky drone show, and we're pumped about that.
That's incredible. That's
right.
incredible.
What our students can do is incredible. Just give them the technology and let's see what students can do. And it's pretty incredible.
Absolutely. It's so great. Again, celebratory. You're celebrating teachers, you're celebrating students, you're celebrating us, the innovation out there, learning together and just connecting. So, so special. So special. Really nice.
Podcast is packed.
www.etc.org. Definitely never too late to come. There's a lot of registration levels. We give people a lot of options. Everything from, if you just want to come to the expo hall, we have a free expo pass. If you want to come get content, you can come to content sessions. If you want to come and do deep dive workshops, you can get an all access pass. So we really are trying to fit everybody's needs. Different people have different needs that they're trying to learn and achieve. As we know, January is one of the most important months of the year for school districts. A lot of people think, August and September when you're kicking it off. No, it's actually January. And this is when, in every school district in the United States, district leaders are asked to create their draft budgets for the next school year.
Yeah.
So when all of our superintendents and, we have so many district leaders at FETC because they are trying to think ahead for the next 26-27 school year, what do we need to be putting in the budget? So they need to come and see that and learn it in January, because in February is when that budget is going. So this is the perfect timing for our, companies and attendees to learn all about what they're going to prepare for the next school year. And that's something, people really aren't aware how integral January is to what we do in our schools. And it doesn't matter if you're public, private, parochial, charter. We have people from all kinds of schools there, because they are really our district leaders. Hats off to them, because they are constantly needing to think in the future. They are the number one attendees at FETC because they are future minded. But we really in January got to think about the next school year. So that's why they're really there. And so I'm excited that every year it is like a rebirth. It's a new year, it's a fresh time. But it's also really exciting to think about what strategies are we going to implement for the following year, and then what products do we need to get there. And so it's really more important than people realize.
It's very true. It's very true. Ramping up and learning, and start picking out what innovation should be embedded in their schools, and just a lot to take in. So I think everyone should sign up, take their vitamins, and get prepared for a lot.
Section on what to pack for FETC, right?
I know what to pack.
Definitely do talk about what to pack, because we need comfortable shoes. I think I might have mentioned this, but our expo floor is 180,000 square feet. So you're going to be doing some walking. We're on 4 layers of a building, so we're going up and down. So we need comfortable shoes. We need a water bottle. We definitely, have refillable stations, but that's a necessity. Good. We want to bring pens to trade. Always a light jacket. It's sunny in Orlando in January, but air conditioning in a building can get a little chilly. So I definitely recommend that. Jerry, what's your go-to for packing for conferences? Protein bars.
Yes.
Protein bar.
Some protein bars. And I always have to have an iPad that I can be writing notes on, because I think I'm going to remember, but there's so much going on that I have to write it down so I don't forget.
People make fun of me. I carry a notebook everywhere. I have notebooks everywhere with a million tabs. Yeah, I'm the same thing. I have to write it down too.
Yeah,
that's a great tip.
You have to have options.
You do. And we provide shuttles back and forth to the hotels. They get really busy, but I'm always thinking, like, when you're on that bus shuttle to your hotel, make a new friend on the bus. When you're, waiting in line for a coffee, that's the opportunity to make a new friend. So, a lot of times people aren't used to being around a big number of people.
Right.
But think about that as an opportunity to make more connections, and not like, I have to wait in line, but think about, I could be meeting a few more people. And so you just never know where that's going to take you. Yeah. So I think that's, coming with a very open, optimistic mindset is really good. Yes. I love Becky Keene. We didn't even talk about our amazing featured speakers this year, but we have an amazing lineup for each of those tracks. We have nationally renowned, practitioners in every track that are sharing really the best of what's happening from around this country. I am constantly overwhelmed. I know you guys have probably already talked to Kip, and you've talked to a bunch of these people that are speaking this year, but it's really one of those things where any one of them, having a conversation with them one-on-one, or going to their session in the Meet the Author booth. We have a booth on the expo floor where all of our authors sign up to spend time there, to take selfies, to share their books, to meet people and talk about it, and take advantage of that, because people who are out around the country have different ideas, have tried different things, and having those connections to them could really empower something you're doing at your own school. Those deep dive conversations, one of the things that a lot of our attendees tell us is the thing they enjoy the most are leadership roundtables, which are actually held at roundtables where people have these deep conversations on a shared topic. And what ends up happening is they develop relationships with the people at that table so that they can continue that work throughout the year. So, try a new type of session that you've never tried before. You might be surprised that you enjoy that. Definitely try to meet people. Becky Keene's book, AI Optimism, she'll be sharing that there. We've already announced, but I'm so excited. Alana Winnett is going to be our opening keynote on Monday morning, but she's not alone. She's bringing her students. and her
yeah.
superintendent. So this is going to be really great.
Yeah.
We definitely have the team at TechShare Live on Tuesday. Adam Bello, Adam Bell, and Leslie Fisher have an amazing lineup of
fun.
tools they're going to be sharing. That's great. So, I mean, there's everywhere you look, we have mega sessions this year focused on very specific content. So we've got a mega session on literacy. How is technology improving literacy and what's really happening there? Especially as a lot of places are going screenless. How are we doing that in some different ways, unique ways? I love that. We have one on mental health. We have an amazing all AI panel that Keith Davis has coordinated. That's amazing. We're doing a special session on virtual reality with some students there as well. Kip is bringing her student interns, her student technology interns from her school in California. They're coming to share. So we're really excited about that. So we were really hitting on some of the main topics. I am super excited for a panel on CTE and creativity that Brian's putting on. Adobe is involved with us with that, and Carl Hooker. So we've got a lot of really interesting deep dives on the mega sessions as well. So trying to keep the theme going of what school districts need right now. We're trying to find literacy solutions. We're finding numeracy solutions. We're finding mental health solutions. So we're going to showcase those very best ones from around the country so you can go back and scale that in your district as well. So hopefully you'll see a lot of that in our posters too. They are so popular. We've had to make a bigger area this year because last year there were so many people they couldn't all fit. So we've got this amazing area in the middle of our expo hall. We're calling it Center Court, just like the basketball center court. So there's going to be posters and leadership roundtables and a lot of interesting things to learn in the center court too. So give me fun. Listen, get ready. Get ready. We're going to have a great time.
Get in shape so I can go.
It's the FETC walking program. You'll get your steps in for sure.
All your steps.
Started so that we're ready.
We want you to hydrate, get your steps in, get your protein in. Yeah, bring your barbell. So it's definitely great. We have a lot happening, but the thing is we're trying to solve and provide enough for 10,000 people. So just imagine over Thanksgiving we were trying to keep 10 people happy with dinner, right? But now try to imagine getting this many people happy with what's happening. So hopefully we're doing that. We're really trying to meet the needs and have people plan better professional development throughout the year in their districts too.
Yes,
so
right.
It all starts with great leadership. So I'm excited to see how many great district leaders are coming. We always say this is where superintendents come to talk ed tech, and they really do. With our partnership with district administration, they have their own little private lounge on the second floor.
Oh, nice.
So it is jam-packed full of district leaders out there getting the inside scoop. And they actually have their own little private VIP expo hall tour that they get some good stuff too. So we really have learned that when district leaders understand EdTech, it really helps the school district advance in ways that you can't imagine through offering better PD, buying better products, using products better, right? So those are really important conversations to have. And we're proud that they choose to come to FETC.
So special. So special. Thank you so much for giving us the scoop. I can't wait for everyone to hear and also get so excited. And we can't wait to be there and see everyone. And gosh, jump into all of these experiences you've laid out for us. We appreciate this.
Jamie, I think we're going to have to listen to this podcast like 3 times to get it all.
Yeah, but you're going to have to sketch note it for everybody so that we can plan it out. Plan it out.
I love this idea. Sketch the must-dos, the packing list. We had some good ideas here too. I love it. You could actually propose what to wear each day. That would be awesome. We have a different focus. The future of teaching is one day, the future of learning is one day, and the future of technology. So you can focus each of your days on that. So we really make sure the content is aligned to what people need. So I'm very excited. I can't wait to see you guys in Orlando. It'll be warm hearts and big hugs. So I'm excited to see you guys very soon. And I'll just be here before you know it.
It's true.
Oh, thank you, Jen. This was fabulous. I wish you had a little enthusiasm about what you do.
Yeah, come on, just a little.
Simmer down. It's hard not to be excited. It was sometimes seeing people happy is the greatest gift. So when you're trying to design things that make people excited, enthusiastic about teaching our future, we often forget Education is the economic driver of our nation. So what is happening when teachers invoke knowledge and the love of learning carries on for generations. So what we're doing in the classroom, just like each of you were in a classroom at one point, how amazing was that? But now to get to touch even more people that didn't go forward, I mean, we're making a huge impact on people, and that there's nothing more, exciting, and there's nothing better than that. So I feel very lucky.
I agree. Well, thank you so much. This has been amazing, and I will watch it 3 times.
Thank you for listening. And if you would like to stay linked up, be sure to follow us on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to us on YouTube.